Good day, everybody. My name is Anton Ellenbroek. I work at FAO of the UN, that is the Food and Agricultural Organization of the UN, here in Rome in the Fisheries and Aquaculture Division. I work in the knowledge management team, which means that we manage all the fisheries and aquaculture related knowledge that comes into the organization and that we want to use to help countries achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, in particular SDG 14, where FAO is the official custodian for the UN of all the information that will be published under SDG 14 to the planet. We are in the Blue-Cloud project with quite a big team. So we work with IRD in France, we work with Forth in Greece, and several other organizations to make a better assessment of what is happening in fisheries and aquaculture using modern innovative technologies through the Blue-Cloud platform. For us, it's an interesting, albeit rather small activity. And we want to introduce you to the challenge that we did. We work in fisheries, we work in aquaculture, and we are driven by the FAO policies that are the ecosystem approach to fisheries and the ecosystem approach to aquaculture. If you understand a bit about fisheries and aquaculture, we welcome you to this challenge, and we hope you will have a good time in participating in the hackathon. And we wish you all the best and success with your participation to this hackathon. In this challenge, so feeding the world, which is quite ambitious. So let's first reduce that challenge a bit to what can we learn from innovative services using environmental data on aquaculture. So with the Blue-Cloud, we have developed a lot of services where you can find immediate, medium-term and long-term forecasts of what is going to happen in the ocean, or you will have to produce these in the hackathon challenge. What we are interested in is how do these impact on aquaculture and what might be the impact of aquaculture on the environment. Also here we have this idea of having a short-term, like immediate impacts, medium-term, like for over a season, or long-term impacts, either from aquaculture or on aquaculture, looking at environmental variables, for instance, the essential ocean variables, but also CMEMS information on ocean currents, waves, etc. So how can we learn more from FAO about the impact and the integration of aquaculture in the ocean environment or in the coastal environment, but also if you want to take a broader scope, what is the relevance of aquaculture if we look in a marine spatial planning context? So I do not know you, so I do not know what sort of team you have, but what do we want to help the teams with? So we have a few things for you already. The first one is a map of aquaculture sites in the Mediterranean. And for the rest, we challenge you to use as many of the data access and data processing services in the Blue-Cloud as possible. We think we can be of assistance with a few base information. We have prepared for you a Jupyter notebook where you can learn how to integrate and exploit some services in the Blue-Cloud. But it also explains you if you want to make an R-Shiny application, how to deploy that in the infrastructure. We can also help you with exploiting the data miner for certain aspects. So we are not the technical experts, for that you will have other mediators and trainers, but we can help you to explain how we do this in the Fisheries and Aquaculture department with IRD, CLS and Forth, the partners in this challenge. In terms of technology, we are not bound to anything, so we are open to welcome any suggestions as long as if it exploits some of the Blue-Cloud services. But you're also free to make your own innovations. And we prefer that you use R, if you ask me. It can be through a Jupyter notebook, it can be through an R-Shiny application, or it can be directly only exploiting the Blue-Cloud services, for instance, the data miner of D4Science. What we also expect and hope for is that you really see a mix between data that are already inside the Blue-Cloud and data that you bring or that you find through APIs like the OpenStreetMaps if you want to make nice maps and integrate those with, for instance, the location of the farms and essential ocean variables. So really try to think about integration rather than only thinking about one line, and also think about how this can be useful for end users. So where do people want to find the data is usually now, I think, through maps and map interfaces. And also there we can help you with examples of how we publish maps using ISO ODC compliant data. So if you manage to produce ISO OGC compliant data, we can help you with making these already visible in the Blue-Cloud through an open fair viewer that was also developed by FVO for this project. So the ideal team for me would be, of course, the Dutch football national elf, but yeah, that is maybe not possible. So we settle for a bit less. So we hope there will be a somebody that is really brings a lot of technical expertise, either from R or Jupyter or Python or something similar. Then a group of people that know how to communicate results coming out of technology teams. So maybe more a user interface person, and maybe somebody that has a way of communicating to more policy-oriented people. So if you already know about what sort of policy issues you want to address, so either under the Green Deal or even a very small national local policy, clean beaches, for instance, we welcome, but we would like to see teams that are integrating different types of expertise and that really try to work towards a simple but effective result. So wherever you are, whatever your team looks like, we also hope for teams that combine skills coming from different countries and then really try to focus also on FAO areas. We are not very interested in what's happening in OECD countries. So if you can think about the southern part of the Mediterranean or the Atlantic, the Southern Atlantic and Mid-Atlantic, we really welcome ideas that will realize some results there. And for the rest, I wish you all the best and good hacking, and may the best win.